And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, we've got a winter weather advisory continuing until 7 p.m. Friday evening here for the eastern, central, western Arctic coast for winds continuing to gust up to around 40-45 miles an hour, reducing visibilities and blowing snow. But those winds will continue to diminish as they have today. And again, that's out until 7 p.m. Otherwise, winter storm watch out here in the shaded areas. Seward Peninsula eastward there in toward Tanana, up toward the western Koyukuk Valley, back to the northwest coast, and at least the northern Yukon Valley into the northern Kuskokwim Valley there. That's out for Sunday and Sunday night as a strong front comes eastward from the Bering Sea. That'll bring winter storm type weather conditions, strong winds, snow, blowing snow, maybe even some mixed precipitation in some areas here. And again, that's Sunday and Sunday night. Today, had the remnants of the storm that came northward yesterday, has backed westward, now weakening, still weakening, sliding southward here, bringing some areas of light snow over the southwest interior and a little bit up to the northwest here. On the west side of that system, a lot of cold air coming south and southeastward into the Pribilof Islands with snow showers all the way down to Sand Point. And then the big cloud shield here with that next system, actually this portion of the warm front will move eastward and then kind of shear off to the southeast, a stronger portion back to the west. That's what's going to move in on Sunday. Otherwise, we had a front here move through the Panhandle, another one, and brought some gusty winds and rain over 1.5 inches to Ketchikan. That beginning to turn more showery and lighter this afternoon along with the diminishing wind conditions. And still had some light snow going today, south central Alaska, mostly northern Cook Inlet and in toward Prince William Sound. On the chart, there's that low center at the surface there, south of Yakutat, and the front pushing across the southeast coast and breaking up now as it gets into Canada. But a lot of moisture and shower activity here to the west and southwest of the Panhandle will be rolling through tonight and into tomorrow. And again, the light snow continuing to fall, a couple inches more falling in the Anchorage area today, and in toward Turnagain Arm, North Gulf Coast areas, and actually some light snow all the way down to Homer, but drying out over Kodiak Island, gusty northwest winds there, also Bristol Bay drying out, and then the wind slowly diminishing here for the Arctic coast and North Slope areas. Excuse me. And the next system here, that warm front, we'll see slides eastward, not really strong, but holding together enough to bring clouds, warmer temperatures, light rain, fog, and drizzle into the Pribilof Islands. And then this will kind of just slide off to the southeast as the portion back here takes over and holds together a little bit better. Snow showers continue to cover the eastern Bering Sea, kind of getting pinched off here along the coast and back to the west a little bit here. But still gusty winds, possibly to 50 miles an hour for the Alaska Peninsula tonight. And rain and snow showers there continuing, dry over the western interior, and slowly diminishing light snow here, Kenai Peninsula up into the Madanuska Valley, Turnagain Arm, Prince William Sound, and staying damp and unsettled for the North Gulf Coast. And another trough will bring in enhanced showers, probably once it interacts with the terrain, it'll be just another period of steady rain there into the southeast coast tonight, but winds not all that strong. Winds continue to diminish on the Arctic coast up there, becoming pretty light by comparison for the day Saturday up in that area. Still a chance of some light snow or flurries, mainly the eastern North Slope and Arctic coastal areas down in toward the north slopes of the Brooks Range. And pretty dry over the interior with a fair amount of clearing possible here from the Yukon River Valley areas, lower Yukon River Valley area down into Cook Inlet, Kodiak Island, northeast Bristol Bay areas. And still a chance of snow with this low, kind of pulling back to the west here. We'll keep a chance of snow, mostly southern Prince William Sound, about Cordova, rain or snow there, and toward Yakutat, just rain. And it stays damp over the southeast coast. And this warm front, really weak now in this portion here. You can see the moisture with that sliding southeastward here as the stronger system develops back to the west there. Main low center way back toward Kamchatka Peninsula. And this frontal system, we'll see, makes a pretty good jog to the east and to the northeast. Very tight gradient, a lot of moisture coming right into the western interior. along and south of the warm front. Right along the warm front, could see some mixed precipitation, freezing rain, sleet, that type of thing. Then mixed rain and snow becoming rain here along the southwest coast up to Nunivak Island during the afternoon hours ahead of the cold front there. Farther south you go, the weaker the front is, so just some light rain coming into the eastern Aleutians with not much of an increase in the winds, but a very tight gradient up here. Again, winter storm watch is out for the western part of the state here up into the northwest valleys. Snow, blowing snow, pretty likely here for the lower Koyukuk Valley up into the Kobuk Valley, Seward Peninsula, northwest coastal areas. By contrast, light winds and dry for the central and eastern interior. Clouds start to increase in the afternoon in Cook Inlet here after a clear day start to the day, at least in some areas. A lot of clearing here over the Tanana Valley, Copper River Basin down to the North Gulf Coast. Looks like a dry day for the Panhandle with the best chance of clearing up to the north. And lows tonight for the southeast coast, mid-30s to lower 40s. Down into the lower 20s, south central Alaska, Susitna Valley, Talkeetna, Trapper Creek could drop into the teens. About 10 for the Copper River Basin. 5 to 15 over the central interior. Areas that see some clearing again, falling a little below zero. And teens for the Arctic coast, 20s out to the southwest coast, 30s to near 40 for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow, mid-40s, Pribilofs, upper 40s for Adak and Atka, mid-40s, cooling as you head up the Alaska Peninsula here, then you're down to 35 for the high for Kodiak. Highs in the 20s now for south central Alaska as the cooler air finally gets in. A little cooler air. Actually, it wasn't that much warmer today than these temperatures tomorrow, but it should stay mostly in the 20s, mid-teens for the Copper River Basin. Teens here, 10 to 15 for the interior, up to the Arctic coast, 15 to 20. Highs in the 40s for the southeast coast. Lows in the 30s for the Panhandle for Sunday morning. And anywhere from 5 below to 10 above about sums it up for areas of the interior here. 10 to 15, south central Alaska, near 20 for Homer and Seward, upper 20s Kodiak Island, 10 to 15 for the Bristol Bay area. Milder as you get out to the coast with the incoming clouds and wind there, upper 20s for the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta to St. Lawrence Island, actually to into the Bering Strait as well. That'll be followed by highs. Again, that warm air coming in behind the warm front, ahead of the cold front. Mid-40s for the Pribilofs into the southwest coast here. And teens as you get into the interior and staying in the 5 to 15 degree range up here in the northeast interior. South of the Alaska Range, highs 25 to 30, south central Alaska, and in the 40s for the southeast coast.